don't expect that everything works out as you expect in the time that you expect. It may or may not, but if it doesn't, don't be disappointed. Just know that you're digging that foundation and you're going deep, 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 because your building is going to go high, high, high. Because these are the things that I wish somebody had told me before I started my business and also during running my business. So I wanted to share this as a way to document some of the things that I've learned in my journey, that I'm still learning and unpacking, and to encourage somebody who maybe is feeling stuck, and to also answer some of the questions that either I've asked or I've been asked before. So first of all, I want to start by saying that business is an extreme sport. It is full of roller coasters. And I know you've had this before. The ups and downs, the stomach churning nights, like it really is an extreme sport. But as much as we've had this before, it doesn't register until you actually experience it. So there's nothing that you're going to understand about how difficult business is until you go through the same thing and you realize, oh my goodness, this business is like a child. It really is. It's like bringing up a new person. You start by carrying the idea, then you give birth to the idea, then you have to bring up this idea. And if you're in it for the long haul like I am, then you're going to have this DNA of yours in your business for the rest of your life. So don't let anybody tell you, oh, just start, it's easy, quit your job, do it, you're going to be successful. Other people have been successful in that industry. That's a decision you need to make for yourself, not based on what other people either tell you should do or think that you should do. It's good to seek external opinions, but seek them and sieve them. Don't just take everything that people tell you. Some people will tell you good things, which is what you want to hear. You want to validate what you thought you knew. Some people will tell you negative things, which might scare you or might make you even more geared towards going in the direction they're telling you not to go. But you have to make that decision. You have to sift through the information you get. You need to really mull over this decision, because if you're in it again for the long haul, you want to make sure that you give birth to this business in a way that's going to make it sustainable. So that's the first. And speaking of businesses, I wish somebody had told me that I shouldn't start a business based on what I think is a good idea or what I enjoy doing, but based on what the market actually needs and a problem that they have that I can solve with the thing I enjoy doing, or with the thing that I'm naturally gifted or skilled or knowledgeable on. I see a lot of people saying, hey, I want to start a business because I enjoy doing this thing and it's been a hobby of mine and I've been doing this for a long time. That's useful for consideration, but if you're looking at a long-term business that will give you less stress, you want to be solving a problem the market has. So if you've discovered that this is something that would be useful in the market, cool. But if it's just something you're thinking, oh, this is nice, I love to bake, and I think we should have another bakery in my neighborhood, I'm like, okay, what problem are you solving? Is it like a vegan bakery or a non-gluten bakery? Is it a unique problem that exists in the market, or is it just another bakery? And another thing is that you will become a new person from running your business. Your business will work on you. Whether you like it or not, you will not be the same person you were 1 year after running a business. I can guarantee you that. You're going to notice a lot of your priorities are going to shift. You're going to notice that you may even have to get new friends because your friends are not understanding your ambitions or understanding some of the stress that you go through. And also not having people that you can really talk to, especially if you're dealing with people who've never run a business. It's very hard for them to understand and advise you properly. And sometimes you just want somebody to talk to. So you're going to find yourself gravitating towards maybe other business owners or other people who do what it is that you do. So it is going to change you. Get ready, get prepared. Hopefully it changes you into the kind of person that you want to be, your future self wants to be, and not somebody who complains a lot, or somebody who's angry a lot, or somebody who's stressed a lot. You know, some of those things will happen periodically, but let it not change you for the negative. Let it change you, work on you, but let the outcome be the stronger person, the more confident person, because you've improved your skills over time. So even your presentations are better because now you know your stuff, you've got more experience. Let it be that you know you have that confidence, and it's changing you in that way and making you a better person, not making you a worse person. Which goes to, you will notice that your friends may change. It helps to have a network of other entrepreneurs. It's a great thing, but also understand that don't use other entrepreneurs as a crutch. Just because you're in a network of other entrepreneurs, now every decision has to be made with them in consultation. You still have to do the work. It will again still work on you, your business, whether you're alone or you're around other entrepreneurs. But it helps to have other business people who you can consult with, who you can talk to, and you know, be around. Sometimes not even talking to them. Like for me, I'm filming this in Bali, and I came to Bali, to Canggu. I'm in Canggu right now, and there are a lot of digital nomads in Canggu. And I came here also because I wanted to be around a community of other creators, other digital nomads, because I don't really get that a lot back home. There are not very many communities of digital nomads back home. But when I come here, when I come to Bali, I get to hang around with a lot of digital nomads, and it's normal to be a digital nomad. The co-working spaces, I was there earlier, and there are all these co-working spaces with everybody doing what we're doing. Like we're all on our laptops, we're all like working and focused, and then we order our coffee, and then, you know, at some point we have meetings, and then we leave, and then the next day you notice the same people at the same co-working space coming back. Here it's very normal. There are lots of places where you can just go order a fresh coconut, sit down for 5 hours, and that's it, pay your bill and leave. Some places you can even do it for free, not even order anything. So it's a very normal thing. And then there are lots of events that are happening in a really big community. So they're constantly teaching each other new things, people holding events and teaching their expertise to other digital nomads. Like it's really, really cool. It feels very normal here. It doesn't feel like when I go to a cafe at 11 a.m. or I'm there at 3 o'clock, that it's kind of weird because everybody's at work and you're sitting there in the cafe for a number of hours, and people are like, you're sitting on your own, aren't you? You're having lunch on your own. No, here it's normal. It's normal. I love it. If you're looking for your friends to validate your ideas or validate your vision or your ambitions, then you're going to find it very lonely, because most of your friends are not really going to understand you or what you're looking to build. And really, they shouldn't, because they weren't given the vision. You were. So you're the one who's supposed to understand it, who's supposed to be passionate about it, not everybody else. Not your parents, not your friends, not your teachers, even your mentors. Like one of the things I learned is even my mentors don't understand what exactly I'm doing, like everything that I'm doing. They may understand certain things and they'll help me in a certain area, but they won't understand the whole thing, and that's okay. It will be, you will eventually find people who will know you more and who will be able to listen to you and to see you over time. But even if your spouse doesn't get it, it's okay. And most things take longer than you anticipate. They work in their own time. So while you have these goals that within 6 months, these are your plans and all these ideas that you have of what you'll be able to do if you get 0.01% of the market and what that looks like financially, and then you start dreaming about the new car that you're gonna buy or the new house you're gonna buy. Let me tell you, just brace yourself, because it's going to take longer than you think. There are going to be lots of ups and downs. The path is not straight. It's not linear. There will be some times where it takes a really long time to get something done, and then that thing starts to compound. And while you thought it would go like this, it just takes like, it just goes up exponentially. So understand that everything has its own timing. I like to look at it from the perspective of maybe you're not ready for the success that you want, and your business is working on you to make sure that you're ready, to make sure you're prepared, because once you are, then it starts to go up. And I also equate this like a building. If you look at the tallest buildings, they have the deepest foundations. You have to dig deep to be able to go really high. And that digging deep costs a lot. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of materials, and no one will ever see it. What they'll see is the building on top, and they'll go like, oh wow, look at that building. I want a building just like yours. But what they wouldn't understand is the foundation, how deep that foundation goes, and how much effort, blood, sweat, and tears went into that foundation. So don't expect that everything works out as you expect in the time that you expect. It may or may not. But if it doesn't, don't be disappointed. Just know that you're digging that foundation and you're going deep, 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 because your building is going to go high, high, high. And be careful of your environment. Your environment is where you live, who you hang out with, what you spend most of your time doing, your habits. Be very careful of these things, because in effect, they will affect how successful your business, you and your business can be. Like if you are hanging out with the wrong people, maybe a lot of people who you hang out with, let's say they're not the wrong people necessarily, but just to give you this analogy, let's say you're hanging out a lot with people who have 9-to-5 jobs. Your business depends on you, so it requires you working in order for it to make money, right? So you're hanging out with a lot of people who have 9-to-5s. They have different priorities. They have different spending patterns because they know that they're going to get paid at the end of the month. But you, on the other hand, don't get paid unless you do work. But now you're spending a lot of time with these guys who, after 5 o'clock, even when they go home, they're still getting paid. On weekends, they're still getting paid. And now you're spending money the same way they're spending money. What's going to happen is you're going to either end up going into debt, or you're going to notice you're running out of money really soon, and it's going to stress you, which means that if you're running out of money anyway, you're going to have to cut back on those things. So you might as well cut back on them now. Stop spending the way you used to spend when you were employed, if you ever were employed and you had a constant paycheck, or spending the way you're seeing other people spending around you. And then in terms of your the rest of your environment, like your home, your environment where you're working, take care of those things. Make it a bit neat, make it less clutter-free so that it has a flow of energy. If there's a way you can work in a beautiful environment, do that. Like go to a place, go to a cafe. Sometimes I find like if I'm not able to think, just taking myself out and going to a cafe that I enjoy, working with a nice garden, makes a huge difference. So you can do that too. And another thing is, you'll see a lot of people reporting that they're having a lot of success. Maybe they are quoting figures of revenue that they're generating. But I want you to understand two things. One, if that's their journey and they're making that much money and they're way ahead of you, and they picked the right market and they're in the right environment, they're balling, right? If that's their path, and yours seems to be different from theirs, that's okay. Because remember, I talked about going down the foundation. You don't know the foundation that they dug. And you also don't know how long that building of theirs is going to stay in case they didn't dig a very deep foundation. Your journey is different, just like everybody else's. So don't look at people and say, feel a bit of envy because you're seeing them reporting that, I just made $10,000, I just made $100,000, I just had $1 million day. Like you'll see a lot of these influencers online, and it makes you feel a type of way, especially if they're in your circle. But either way, your journey is different. Your journey is going to be different from them. And then the second thing is that understand that the revenue most people tend to report is before taxes and before expenses. So I've seen this a lot, like on people claiming how much they made on their Shopify store and stuff like that. And I'm like, when you reduce the expenses, the cost of marketing or doing ads or paying monthly for your email subscription service or any accounting service that you have to sign up for. When you reduce all that, you notice that they don't make that much money. So if somebody is coming and bragging to you and trying to make you feel bad, like I made this amount of money, ask, okay, good, was that before or after? Okay, so what's the net, like after expenses? Because you'll find people rarely report the net, they report on the gross. So it might be making you feel bad when in reality, they're even making the same amount of money as you at the end, or even less than you. But most importantly, understand that your journey is different. Your journey will be different. Their path is different from yours. And I've seen a lot of people come and go, like make a lot of money, seem really big, become really famous, grow online, and then you see them, they segue into something else really quickly, and now they're trying to make money in this other new hype thing. Now they're talking about something different, because they were not really in it for the long haul. They were just in it to make like quick money and then move on to the next thing that makes them quick money. So if you're in it for the long haul and you're really trying to build something that you can leave behind as a legacy, then it doesn't matter. You're going to leave it behind as a legacy, and this is a marathon, not a sprint. So if there's a period at which you feel discouraged, do something that will lift your mood. Because I also notice a lot of the times when we're in a bad mood, we tend to see things very negatively. So if you lift your mood even just for a bit, go out for a run, go out for a walk, eat your favorite food, listen to music, watch your favorite YouTuber who encourages you. Things like that can lift your mood and make you feel better, at least for that moment. Then when you'll notice that even the problems that you have when you're in a good mood, they are less amplified and you're less afraid of a negative outcome. So yeah, I wish somebody had told me these things. And if you're out there and you're struggling with your business and you're wondering, should I even continue? Should I pursue this direction? The question I would ask you is, first of all, what mood are you in? Are you in a good mood, or are you in a really negative mood? And any decision that you make will tend to be negative, irrespective of whether it's logical or not. You're going to justify it with logic. So if you're in a negative mood, just sleep over it. Don't make a decision when you're in a negative state. Wait, push it as far as you can. Things will seem better later. And then you'll look back and you'll go like, oh, Jacqui was right. Oh my goodness. I almost shut down my business, or I almost signed a deal that was not going to be good for me. And now I'm like so glad I didn't do it. So yeah, just take the time. Business can be difficult, but it will get better, and everything works out in the end. Everything works out. It will be good for you in the end. Everything in life happens for you. There are lessons to be learned along every stage of your business. That's why it's working on you and it's making you a different person. But eventually it's going to start working for you. And then that's when people start to see the building and they don't know what went into the foundation. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.